What's going on, everybody? Almost Counts Collectibles here, and in today's video we're going to be going over these. These are my knockoff slash bootleg, whatever you want to call them, KO Mighty Morphin Power Ranger action figure collection. I'm very proud of this particular collection because of how difficult it is to put together knockoffs with the packaging and figurines in very good shape. So we're going to look at these one by one, check them out, see what they look like. So let's head over to the review station. All right, now that we have our figures over here, we can go ahead and dive in, kind of take a look at them one by one, see what they're all about and exactly what they look like. But real quick, the backstory to these particular figures in front of you, I have some other bootleg figures that we'll look at real quick. But this particular collection I'm very proud of because it's very difficult to put a collection like this together. Something that you have no idea how many are out there. Obviously, they didn't produce nearly as many of these as the actual Power Rangers. So I was very lucky to finally complete the set. I purchased the original ones of these. I got the yellow, the blue, the red, and the black all together on eBay, probably five plus years ago. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head. I knew when I saw the pictures of them that there was something odd about them, that obviously there was probably something going on and these weren't legitimate action figures, but I thought they looked really cool, and the fact that the packaging in the pictures was in such good condition was very rare because I had seen some bootleg figures prior to these, not ones exactly like this, but I'd seen some bootleg figures for sale, and the packaging is always terrible. Half the time it's all crushed and falling apart because the glue's not that good that they're using, the cardboard isn't that good, the materials, everything about them is not very good quality, so it's hard to find the packaging and the action figures in pretty good shape altogether. So that was the first thing that struck me about these, was just how well they looked. So I purchased them. When I received them, I asked the individual where they had got them from. Now, I don't know if maybe they were a little cautious as to telling me exactly where they got them, or if what they told me was actually true. But they told me they actually got these figures out of a storage locker that they had purchased, an abandoned storage locker. So I thought that was pretty incredible. Either that person had to have been big in the bootleg stuff that they were selling, which is possible, and they happen to have these and probably other toys and knockoff items in there. Or maybe they weren't telling me the truth because they knew that I had realized that these were fake, because the listing didn't exactly say that these were fake. It just said 4 Power Ranger action figures, what you see is what you get pretty much. So I don't know if that's true or not, but they claimed that they got them out of a storage locker. So after I got these 4 figures, I immediately, being the collector I am, wanted to put the whole collection together. I was like, if they made a yellow, blue, red, and black, there's gotta be pink, maybe even green, and so on and so forth, in this exact packaging with the White Ranger shields and all that stuff going on, the Saba weapons in this metallic color. So I really wanted to put them together. It wasn't until a couple years later I finally found a pink Ranger. Now we'll look at pink here in just a second, but there's something different about pink as to all of the other Rangers. You probably see it right now, but if not, we're going to talk about it in just a second. So after I put pink together, I saw an image on Google search of a green Ranger in this same packaging as a knockoff. And I immediately thought to myself, I have to get my hands on a green Ranger. So I looked and looked, never could find one, and then one day I came across one. I constantly checked eBay and some other sites and things of that nature when I'm collecting. Every day I checked it, and finally, probably, I don't know, 6 to 8 months after I picked up the Pink Ranger, somebody posted a green knockoff Power Ranger in this exact same packaging. We'll check it out in just a second. For sale. It was a decent price. Sometimes, now the prices on these fluctuate greatly. I have seen them as low as 10 bucks, and I've seen people ask as much as $200 for one of these knockoffs. So I finally found the Green Ranger. It was $50, buy it now. I think it was $40 starting at a bid, or $50, buy it now. I immediately hit that buy it now button and requested them to pack it as carefully and gently as possible, because I really didn't want the packaging to get thrown around, because once this cheap packaging gets thrown around in a box, it's pretty much over. The bubble is going to completely rip off of the cardboard, and it's just, I mean, now you've got just an open figure with loose parts rolling around in there. So that's the quick backstory on how I came to kind of pursue these and how I got my hands on them. Now we'll take a look at them one by one. First off is the Red Ranger. Now, you'll notice with some of these knockoffs, obviously, you'll be able to tell the paint isn't perfect here in a second, but you can even see right here by the head mold, when it was taken out of the mold, there was still excess plastic on it. The paint is kind of blurry in some areas. Right here on the diamonds, you can see it. But for the most part, other than the paint and some of the errors, like right here on the holster, you can see excess mold plastic right here from when they casted the mold. So, I mean, they're not perfect, but the ones I have in my hand, I mean, if you just look at the packaging, the card backwards are extremely straight, and for the most part, just about all of them are crease and, dent ding free, which is truly amazing. I mean, even these corners are nice and round and sharp. The coloring, like the contrast, you can tell that this was printed on a lower quality printer. I don't know if you can tell on camera just how kind of it's dull, like compared to actual. I'll throw up here on the other side if I can. I don't know if the comparison is going to show up too well, but you can tell this looks like it was ran through a printer and it's not an original full colored copy of something. So everything about these just looks a little bit lower quality. I'm sure the toy probably, if I took it out, some of the joints would be extremely loose and this, that, and the other. But for collectible and display purposes, I extremely lucked out on these. I have got, since I've got this original collection, I have several of these. I've got like 3 of the Blue Ranger. I've got multiple ones. I think I've got 3 of the White Ranger that we'll look at here in a minute. And the packaging is always absolutely terrible. So these first ones I got my hands on, I just still can't believe how good the packaging is. You'll notice up in the top, some of the bubbles always have a little dent or ding or something in them. But compared to most, these are in immaculate condition. Now, as you can see right here, as is the case with most of these, they come with a blaster, which actually looks pretty good, the blaster mold. They come with a metallic silver Saba, and for the most part, most of them actually come with their correct power coin, which is kind of shocking to me. So here we have the Tyrannosaurus power coin. Now they say made in China over here, but I highly doubt that. These are just copies of the original cards. So I'm not sure exactly where they were made. Possibly Mexico. I've heard that Mexico produced a lot of these knockoffs, but who's to say? All I know is I've got them and I absolutely love them just for the rarity of them and how hard it is to come across them in good condition. So that is the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. To be completely honest, I don't even know if the flip head action would actually work on these. So, who's to say if that's even a working function or if they even have their human head, their out of action form. But they are still extremely neat nonetheless. So that is the Mighty Morphin Red. We will check out Blue. So here's the Blue Ranger. He's slightly looking over to the left. So it's possible, I guess, their heads could have a little bit of mobility. I'm not going to open these up to check them out. But we have the Triceratops Power Coin. Once again, we have Saba, a Blaster. The paint, as you can tell again, a little bit fuzzy, not perfect diamonds or anything like that. But overall, not too bad considering what they are. The packaging, the card, the backard, everything on these are in great shape. Let's go ahead and check out Yellow. Here is Yellow Ranger. I actually think the Yellow Ranger's helmet is really good. I mean, it looks a little bit more distinctive. I mean, that's just my opinion, but Yellow looks absolutely outstanding. Over here, we have the Saber-Tooth Tiger Power Coin. Once again, correct power coin. We've got another Saba. We've got a Power Blaster. The paint isn't actually too bad on Trini here, as far as the diamonds and stuff go. Once again, her packaging is in outstanding shape. not so much as a bend or crease really anywhere. I have yet to come across any of the evil space alien knockoffs, but I would absolutely love to add them to my collection. So here is Zack, the Black Ranger. Once again, correct power coin. We got the Mastodon right here. We've got another Saba, a blaster. Now the paint on the white tiger shield right here of Zack, they didn't do as good a job. Some of these other ones have a little bit better filled in black, but as you can see, his doesn't really look that great. But overall, pretty much the same as the other ones. Not too bad. Packaging is in fantastic condition. I mean, it just looks great for what it is, of course. Once again, here is the back. It is the same on all of them, but yeah, absolutely love these. Can't believe I got my hands on them in the condition that they're in. All right, the last one we're going to take a look at is the Pink Ranger, because the Pink Ranger, you're going to notice, is a little bit different. Now, this is the only Pink Ranger I've ever been able to come across, but I have seen photos on Google search of this exact same Pink Ranger in the exact same state it is. So I don't even know if they made a Pink Ranger with the white tiger shield or if all of them were like this. But as you can see, Kimberly here not only has a dragon shield instead of a white tiger shield, which is ironic because in the series, Kimberly was the Green Ranger's love interest. So it's odd that she's the only one that I've got in my collection and have seen that actually comes with the dragon shield. But more oddly than that, on the dragon shield actually has, if I can make it clear for you guys here, it's got the Mastodon on it. It's not, it doesn't even have Dragon Zord. Let me try to tilt this in kind of a way where you can see it. It's got the Mastodon on there. So that was odd. I thought that would have been extremely cool if this came on Zack and even had his Mastodon on it, because Kimberly, as far as I remember, I could be mistaken, but she never received the Dragon Shield or Green Ranger powers. Zack did, so did Jason, but Kimberly never did, so I thought that was very odd. She comes with a blaster, but she also does not come with a power coin. However, she does come with her correct weapon. She comes with the power bow, and it is white instead of silver. The silver on her morpher right here, they didn't put on too thick, so we've got that. The diamonds on her boots actually aren't that bad. But that is Kimberly. She is the only different one out of all of them. The back is still the same. Her packaging is in very, very good condition. So I finally picked her up. She does have a little ding in the her bubble up here, but it's kind of hard to find them in perfect condition, like I said, considering what they are. Now, these are my 5 original Rangers with the same packaging and for the most part the same setup, with the exception of Kimberly. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual Green Ranger that I was able to pick up. Here he is right here. Now, as you will see, back to the correct accessories, as far as at least what they're coming with, we actually have what appears to be a white tiger power coin. So, even though it's Green Ranger, we got a white tiger power coin, which is pretty neat. And this is different from the saber-tooth tiger. It's not a redo of that one. This is the actual white tiger Zord coin. We have the Saba again. We have a blaster. We have the White Ranger shield, but we have the Green Ranger. So I was so pumped to finally get my hands on Green Ranger. And once again, you'll see down here the paint and the diamonds and everything are a little skewed. The molding right here, too much excess plastic in certain parts. But for the most part, for a knockoff, very well done. And the packaging, once again, in excellent shape for one of these knockoff Power Rangers. All right, let's go ahead and set Green Ranger over here. Now we'll take a look at White Ranger. White Ranger seems to be the most common knockoff toy. I actually have 3 of these. packed in the back there in the boxes. One of them, the packaging is almost completely destroyed. I'm contemplating opening it. We might do a separate video where I actually open some of these knockoffs. Pretty sure I have a Blue Ranger as well that we could open because the packaging is pretty much destroyed. So we'll check that out in a separate video if you guys want to see it. But right now, these are just all the ones I have sealed. So I was able to finally get a White Ranger with the packaging in very, very good condition. You'll notice here, I don't know if you can exactly see, but the molding inside of this bubble is actually for a power axe. And all they did was stick a Saba over it, which is white now, it's not metallic, and they put a piece of tape over it inside of the actual bubble to hold it there in place. And we also get a white blaster. For some reason, even with the knockoffs, White Rangers and Green Rangers all get blasters too, so they're staying true there. And then, of course, we have the White Ranger. You can tell some of the paint, the smearing and all that stuff down here on the black over the gold, but overall not too bad once again, and the packaging is in great condition. So let's go ahead and check out the back. It is exactly the same. We still have the old back, even though now we have a White Ranger, so they still continue to use the same packaging. But that is my Automorphin White Ranger. Alright, now we're done with the Mighty Morphin packaging. So as you can see here in front of you, this is my entire collection. All 5 original, green and white, in this kind of packaging in great condition, which I was very fortunate to get my hands on. But I've got a couple more knockoff toys that we are going to take a look at here. The first one is actually a 5-inch Megazord. It is the Steel Beast God, and it is just a 5-inch action figure of the Dino Megazord. It even comes with the Mastodon head shield and power sword. The card looks absolutely amazing. I mean, we have the Megazord standing right here behind the actual Megazord. We've got Dragon Zord over here to the side. I just thought the packaging looked great. The figure itself, you'll notice, like the paint, I think that was supposed to be all black. On top, on the shoulders, there's like a blue hue, but it's kind of, you know, it's not complete. You can see through to the silver, but for the most part, I thought this was a very cool little action figure, and I had to get my hands on it. Now, the Triceratops and the Saber-Tooth Tiger are not correctly colored. There's a little bit of color up here on the actual legs, but for the most part they're all black. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back, and here on the back it says Steel Beast God, and it's got a picture of tank mode and then Dragon Zord in fighting mode. Very, very neat. Had to get my hands on that. I think I paid like 18 bucks for it. So we picked up Megazord. Alright, next up we have a Zack Black Ranger, and I'm gonna try to kill this glare we got going on over here just a little bit. Alright, so here is Zack. Now this one seems to be done just a little bit better than the others. As you will tell, the card back here, I'm not 100% sure, excuse my ignorance, if this is actually Japanese writing or some form of Mandarin. Not 100% on that one, but the packaging, the writing on it for the most part has this either Japanese or Mandarin writing on it with some English. Zack comes with his white battle axe here, his power axe, and then we have the blaster. But Zack's figure seems to be done a little bit better, but you can still tell that it's not quite the original quality of the official Rangers. We'll take a look at the back here. As you can see, pretty much the exact same pictures and everything, just a lot of the writing is now in either Japanese or Mandarin or whatever it may be. So there is my foreign Zack knockoff. Now the last one we are going to take a look at. At first I wasn't even sure if it was a knockoff. I thought it could have been just some foreign release. But here it is. I have a 5 stars Battlegroup metallic White Ranger. Now this is not a copy of a flip head automorph. This is more of a copy of the, as you'll see in the background, the movie edition Power Rangers. Very cool. We have a full-on metallic silver blaster, and then the weapon now is a brownish plastic color. But we also even get a white tiger power coin. So very, very cool, very interesting. A little bit of research revealed that this is in fact a bootleg knockoff action figure, whatever you want to call it. Up here, I thought that was really neat, the way that they did the packaging. I mean, overall, I thought was pretty cool. But it does definitely look like a knockoff of the movie edition White Ranger. We'll take a look at the back here. The back actually has the movie edition backard here. It shows the actual metallic movie Rangers without the automorph action. And then we've got the 8-inch action figures down here. Pretty cool. The packaging on this one was, once again, in very, very good condition, which is why I picked it up. So there he is. So we're going to set that aside. And that's pretty much going to do it for my KO collection. I don't actively pursue knockoffs. Over the years, there have been, ever since the Power Ranger toys first debuted, there have been knockoff action figures. At least I'm pretty sure. Because if you do your research, you will find pictures of an absolute ton of different knockoffs. I'll show you some throughout, my little rant right here. But we've seen some pretty goofy ones, all right? And then we have actually seen some really good ones. There's still some interesting knockoff Power Ranger toys out there that I'd absolutely love to add to my collection. All the way, I think pretty much every season. I've seen Turbo, I've seen Season 2 with the Thunder Megazords, I've seen the Space Rangers. I have seen just about every season, at least all the way up through the Zordon era, with some kind of knockoff toys out there. All the way from the really cool to the extremely ridiculous. Some of them just look absolutely terrible, that you're not even sure if it's actually supposed to be a ripoff of Power Rangers or not, even though that's what some people are selling it for or claiming it to be. But out of all the knockoff Power Ranger figures out there that I have seen, there are a couple that I would still like to get my hands on. There's even been one that I thought was really neat that I got my hands on at one point, but when it arrived to me in the mail, they packaged it very poorly and it was destroyed. The bubble had completely ripped off of the backard. The Rangers were flopping around inside, and I just didn't. That's not what I had purchased. That's not what it looked like when I bought it. And their failure to pack it well pretty much destroyed it. So I returned it for a full refund because I paid like $50 for it. But there are still a few I would like to get my hands on, no doubt. And then, like I said, there is just the absolute ridiculousness out there. But I would love to hear if you guys have any knockoff figures of your own, what you think about them, and just what your experience has been with them. Have you ever been ripped off? You bought something that you didn't know was a knockoff. But that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Share your stuff. I want to hear your thoughts about it. Especially if you got videos of your own knockoff figures. And I'll probably do a video in the future of actually opening up some of those knockoffs that I have, and we'll actually check out the automorph and function, see what their head sculpts look like, and just overall the quality of the toy. But as of right now, this is my sealed collection. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there, and until next time, I will see you next video.